Good evening. This is the Molalla Urban Renewal Agency meeting for Wednesday, June 11th, 2025. Please join me in the flag salute. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll begin with roll call. We'll begin with Agency Member Vermillion.
Agency Member Vermillion present.
Agency Member Bartholomew present.
Agency Member Pesinius present.
Agency Member Childress present.
Agency Member Gilmer present.
Agency Director Dan Huff present.
City Recorder Christy Teets present.
And Chair Kaiser present. Do agency members or staff have any changes to the agenda tonight? All right. We'll do public comment next. First, citizens are allowed up to 3 minutes to present information relevant to the city but not listed as an item on the agenda. Prior to speaking, citizens shall complete a comment form and deliver it to the city recorder. The agency does not generally engage in dialogue with those making comments but may refer the issue to the agency director. Complaints should first be addressed at the department level prior to addressing the agency. Do we have any MURA comment today?
Not this evening, Chair.
Thank you. Okay, our first topic, ordinances resolution, will be MURA resolution number 2026-1, amending the urban renewal district boundary. Agency Director Huff, we're ready for your staff report.
Thank you. So first, before I get started in all of this, I want to let you know that Dustin Hamilton is here tonight with the fire district. So if you have any questions of him, when I'm done with all of this, he does not have any idea what questions you're going to answer, but he'll show up to try. Or ask him, excuse me. So this is, what you have in front of you is really, it's a simple process for the Molalla Urban Renewal Districts. It's a minor amendment to increase the boundary of the entire district, okay? And it's a minor amendment because, and I provided you with the pages of our plan that describe what a minor amendment is, and it's if the property is less than 1% of the total district, then you can amend the boundary through a simple resolution with the agency, which you all are. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what this is, and it actually began 18 years ago when the city crafted the Urban Renewal District Plan and included some public improvements. If you recall, with the police department, we didn't have language in the plan that discussed public improvements of a police facility. We had to add that into the plan in order to use urban renewal funds to assist us with the police station. In the case with the fire district, which is an interesting situation, there is language, and always was language in the plan about assisting the fire district with certain public facility improvements to the station and a training facility. Okay, so that language is already in the plan. And then in 2009, a year after the district was created, the city actually signed an intergovernmental agreement with the district it was really to make the district whole with the funding that was not going to the district because it was going to the Urban Renewal Agency. Any of the increase, remember during our budget session I talked about tax increment financing a little bit. Any growth in revenue inside the district doesn't go to the taxing agency, it goes to the Urban Renewal District, and those are the funds that we use to generate, to use for infrastructure and projects, okay? So since this district was created, whatever growth in the Urban Renewal District that we've had with property values and things like that, they haven't received the growth and value of the district. Now everywhere else they have, but not within the district. So at the time, no, none of us were here, the city signed an IGA with the district to make them whole with their lost funds, or not lost because they never had them, so funds that they should have received if the district wasn't created, okay? So within that IGA, and I included the IGA in your packet, it goes into a little bit more detail about the public facility improvements. Okay, it talks about property, bringing properties in, and then goes into a little bit more detail about the station improvements and the training facility. So we're this far down the road from when these documents were originally signed. Now, I will tell you that I'm probably gonna come back to you at some point. I warned them. I think we need to update the agreement because it's 18 years old, and you can imagine that there's some things in there that probably need to be updated. There's some, it refers to the original projections on funding, and that's just not ever gonna be the case. We figured that out a few years after the district was formed, and that doesn't do anything with what we're doing tonight. I'm just telling you that I may be back to you. The fire district will know everything before I do, but that may be coming. Anyway, so they along the lines, they purchased 2 properties north, and you can see that, it's the map right behind the resolution that I provided to you. They've owned those, and I don't recall how long you guys have owned those 2 properties. It doesn't matter either way, but,
Mr. F?
okay.
Dustin, you want to come up? You can just turn the mic on. It has to do, it's conversation, so.
Yeah. So anyway, they've owned these 2 properties for a while. They just have not had an opportunity to develop on them, okay? And they have a component of a training facility that they want to build on these properties, and so they've already, and I included the plan in the back here. So this project, this process that we're asking you all to consider tonight is a minor amendment through the Molalla Urban Renewal Plan, and that's the plan. There's 2 sections on there. One describes what a minor amendment is, and the other one describes the public facility component. And you'll see that the fire station and public safety building is in there. So you have all the components to make this decision. The properties that the fire district, sorry, really apologize for that. That the fire district owns are less than 1% of the acreage of the entire district. And so what's in front of you tonight is a simple question of, as a minor amendment, do you want to include these 2 properties within the district? And you kind of already said that you would by virtue of the IGA and the original plan. So if you have any questions of me or Mr. Hamilton, we'll answer them.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Are we talking properties 411 and 414 on your map, or is 414 where the fire station is currently?
It's 411, which would be 411 Kennel, and the property's outlined in yellow, and 414 North Molalla. Those 2 properties are both directly north of the existing station. You see the existing station is the white roof building right here?
At 320? Okay.
Yes.
That little
Okay.
building right there is where they put their restaurant, their small restaurant. It's that little house.
Oh, I didn't, okay.
Did that answer your question?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, sir, thank you.
Mr. F, I have a question. The Urban Renewal Agency, last I heard, was supposed to sunset in 34?
33.
33. Would it make sense, instead of making the adjustments that you talked about down the road, to maybe do an early sunset and then bring it back with the current? Or, I mean, would the adjustments really make that much of a difference if it's gonna
Yes.
sunset in just a few years? Okay,
They would make a difference, and whether we sunset the district early or not, they have a project that they're trying to accomplish today.
oh, so the
And-
adjustments are part of that project, is what you were saying?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. No problem.
Yes.
No
So,
problem.
yeah, so if we wait,
Right, no,
And-
I got you.
the other thing that bringing the properties in actually does is, because we've agreed, as long as the projects comply with the language in the IGA and the language in the plan, we're going to make them whole with their funding, okay? So the two of them are kind of tied together in that we can't make them whole with urban renewal funding unless they do a project that complies with the language within the plan and the IGA.
Got it.
So, if that makes sense, that's why they kind of, and the funding part is not what you're here to do tonight. The city's already agreed to do that as long as they meet the language in the agreement and the plan. But they gotta do it on these two properties that they've identified, so.
Question for
Yeah.
you. I see the blueprint here. What are you guys doing with the property?
All right, so the property of 414, so that's what we call Smokies. Not sure why, I think it was an old owner. But we are gonna put a 60 by 64, I'm gonna call it a shop, it's a pre-engineered building on that property. We're trying to get all of our equipment out of the weather. We're trying to be good stewards of the public monies, and when they sit in the sun and they bake, it doesn't do well for our apparatus, especially in the wintertime.
Right.
So with that, we're planning on storing equipment and hoses and, all of the stuff we need to operate. And in the summertime, we're able to pull those out and we can use that for like some shaded training areas to fulfill that, training facility. The reason why we need 411, we need to have a bioswale because of the permeable surface issue. So we has to go somewhere. And if we go either direction on 414, south or east, it negates any usable property. So if we go west, that 411 is a real sliver of a property. It's not super usable. That's a really good place for that to go. So that's what we're building there. We had talked about building the building at 317, so be behind the fire station. But looking into the future, because this is what we're supposed to do, at some point in time, the fire station's gonna have to get bigger, and the only way we can go with the fire station is out towards 317. So if I put the building there, I have to tear down a building I just put up.
Right.
So that's, 314 property is like really the only feasible place to put it, and save our taxpayers as much money as possible. So, hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Okay.
Council have any questions? All right. Anything else you'd like to add, sir?
No, not unless I wanna make sure you really, when people are asking you what you're doing, we always use this term, if somebody runs into you at Safeway. I just wanna make sure if somebody does and asks you what's going on, that you understand it. So if you have any more questions.
Yeah.
So the only reason that this hasn't been done previously, since we had an IGA written, I mean, this has kind of been in the works, is just because there hadn't been movement from the fire department necessitating this, because they didn't have a building plan in place, or is that correct?
More or less. I think what really triggered this was that they did have a building plan and they wanted to access some of their funds that we said we'd give them if they did a project that complied with the language. And then it was like, well, these properties aren't in the district. Now, I think I asked an unfair question because Dustin probably was not aware of when the district purchased these properties. I'm not either. I just picked on him because he's with the fire district.
I'm the new guy.
Yeah, he's a new guy. Yes and no, I guess, is kind of a bad answer, but we kind of knew they owned them, but we didn't know what they were going to do with them, and it really didn't matter to bring them in until they had a plan to do something with them, if that makes sense. And so now that they have a plan, they just got to bring them in.
So ultimately, this money was going to them under these circumstances. So us moving this, all we're doing is facilitating them being able to build and continue out with their plan.
Yes.
So it's not like they're getting something that they hadn't earned or weren't entitled to. We're just facilitating them being able to do that.
No, it's not. The IGA between the Molalla City Council, the City of Molalla, and the Molalla Fire District Fire District, agreed in 2009 that we were going to make the district whole. And there's no sunset on that. It's for the life of the urban renewal district. So, they're getting something that they're entitled to because we have an IGA.
Right.
And so we're just trying to carry that out.
Perfect.
But I will tell you that the reason why we've been a little sticky on this with them is that to make sure that when we provide them with the funds, that the funds are used for the appropriate purpose within the plan and within the IGA, is because the city of Molalla is the one that gets audited on this. They're not gonna audit the fire district. They're gonna audit us.
We're the
And the
facilitator.
auditors, whether they do or not, are gonna go back and say, did you provide those funds accordingly to your plan and the IGA? We need to be able to show that it was. So, there you go.
Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
I just thought of something when you're talking funds. Are they pulling out some funds that have been held in the agency in order to do some of this? So they're just pulling out their current
Yes.
They're allotted.
share,
It's-
their allotted
it's-
share?
So we know every year, what the fire district has, I don't wanna say that, the amount of money that the district kept that was gonna go to the fire district. It's kind of too many districts in there, but,
Yeah,
so we knew. And it's just money that we have.
okay,
It's calculated within our annual revenue that we bring in from the district.
okay, thank you.
Anybody
The
else?
urban renewal district, not the fire
Right,
district.
right.
All right. May I have a motion to approve or amend MURA Resolution Number 2026-01, amending the Urban Renewal District boundary?
I move to approve MURA Resolution Number 2026-01, amending the Urban Renewal District boundary.
Second?
Motion and second. Is there any other discussion or questions? All right, Christie, we call the roll.
Certainly. Agency Member Gilmer.
Aye.
Agency Member Childress.
Aye.
Agency Member Vermillion.
Aye.
Agency Member Bartholomew.
Aye.
Agency Member Vicinius.
Aye.
Chair Kaiser.
Aye.
Thank you. Vote passes 6-0.
All right. Thank you for coming to visit, sir.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Justin.
hopefully you'll start seeing me more.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Shoot me an email. Yeah, absolutely. All right.
All right, this concludes the business for this meeting. Is there anything else for the good of the order? All right, I will adjourn this meeting at 5:18.
Okay.
Good evening. This is a regular meeting of the Molalla City Council for June 10th, 2026. Flag salute was conducted at our Urban Renewal Agency meeting. I'd like to remind all participants, including staff, elected officials, and members of the public, that Robert's Rules of Order will be enforced in this meeting. We welcome your opinions and look forward to your polite participation. Audience members, we request that you silence your cell phones and not conduct side conversations during the meeting. Thank you. Next, we'll do roll call, beginning with Councilor Gilmer.
Counselor Gilmer present?
Counselor Childers present.
Mayor Kaiser present.
Council President Vermillion present.
Council Bartholomew present.
Counselor Basinius present?
City Recorder Christy Teets present.
Dan Huff, City Manager, present.
All right, is there any changes to the agenda tonight? All right. Up next will be the consent agenda consisting of a work session, meeting minutes for May 27, 2026, City Council meeting minutes for May 27, 2026, Resolution number 2026-16, supporting Oregon Department of Transportation, ODOT Transportation Growth Management, TGM grant application for concept planning related to urban renewal boundary expansion, and Resolution number 2026-17, supporting the Oregon Department of Land Conservation Development, DLCD, Housing Accountability and Production Office, HAPO, 2026 Urban Growth Boundary Expansion Area Planning Grant. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any questions or discussion? All right, Christie, will you call the roll?
Certainly. Counselor Gilmer.
Aye.
Counselor Childress.
Aye.
Council President Vermillion.
Aye.
Counselor Bartholomew.
Aye.
Counselor Bysinius.
Aye.
Mayor Kaiser.
Aye.
Thank you. Vote passes 6-0.
All right, up next we'll have public comment. Citizens are allowed up to 3 minutes to present information relevant to the city but not listed as an item on the agenda. Prior to speaking, citizens shall complete a comment form and deliver it to the city recorder. The city council does not generally engage in dialogue with those making comments, but may refer the issue to the city manager. Complaints should first be addressed at the department level prior to addressing the city council. And Christie, you have submitted, and we have 2 public, and we'll do public first.
Yes, please.
All right. Ms. Carver, come up to the microphone and state your name and city you reside in, please. And you'll have 3 minutes.
Thank you. First time I've ever participated.
Todd Carver, city you reside in.
Sorry, Todd Carver, City of Molalla.
Perfect. Thank you.
Sorry.
It's okay.
First time I've participated in this, but we stopped in and talked to this planning here, and we were like inquiring what's going on in the urban growth boundary and everything, and what direction is it going, north, south, east, west. Been trying to follow. Busy lifestyle. Anyways, so I guess we're here to say that there is interest in on our behalf, and actually many, I know of at least 3 or 4 other people that probably won't come here, but for moving south. And I was told, come up here, let people know that there is interest in going south of Molalla, and we're one of them. What's that? With landowners, yeah. There's a lot of talking, but I don't see a lot of participation, and so I thought I'd get involved.
Perfect.
So, and we're Warwick area.
Okay.
So just so you guys know,
Okay. Perfect.
but
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you guys. We appreciate you coming in.
thank you.
Yes, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you both so much. Mayor Kaiser, I do believe that you are next at public comment, so if you'd like to excuse yourself from the dais now and come on down, I'll give you 3 minutes. Oh, I will.
Oh, I'm good with it. I counted this off.
To the second, sir.
The mayor has stepped away from the dais to offer public comment. As city council president, I will preside while the mayor is speaking as a member of the public. Mr. Kaiser, you have 3 minutes to complete your comment. Please state your name and city you reside in for the record.
My name is Scott Kaiser. I live in Molalla, Oregon. Good evening, council and city staff. For the record, my name is Scott Kaiser. I reside here in Molalla. I am the founder of Molalla Cares, a registered 501c3 nonprofit organization, and co-founder of Molalla River Summer Jam. This weekend, I have the opportunity to bring together two things that I care deeply about: serving our community and bringing people together through power of music. When I learned that our retired police chief, Frank Schoenfeld, had been involved in a devastating accident, I knew I wanted to help. Like many in this community, I have known Frank for years. He dedicated a significant portion of his life to serving and protecting the people of Molalla. He was there during some of the community's most difficult moments, and he always answered the call when people needed him. On April 12th, a conversation began about what we could do to support Frank and his family. What started as a simple idea quickly grew into something much bigger. Volunteers stepped forward, businesses offered sponsorship, musicians donated their time and talents, community members asked how they could help. Before long, we realized we had an opportunity to create something truly special. As many of you know, Frank spent approximately 12 weeks in the hospital recovering from his injuries. The medical costs associated with that level of care are staggering, approaching nearly $1.5 million. While we cannot erase those expenses, we can show Frank and his family that we do not have to face this challenge. They do not have to face this challenge alone. This Saturday, June 13th, Molalla River Brewing will host a charity concert unlike anything we have ever attempted before. Gates open at 1 p.m. and admission is by donation only. Throughout the day, attendees will enjoy 5 live bands, multiple food vendors, beverages, raffles, auctions, and numerous opportunities to contribute to Frank's recovery journey. But this event is about much more than just raising money. It's about showing gratitude to someone who spent years serving this community. It is about neighbors helping neighbors. It is about proving that when one of our own faces a difficult road, Molalla shows up. Time and time again, our community demonstrates that we are at our best when we come together to support one another. I want to personally thank the volunteers, sponsors, businesses, musicians, and countless community members who have helped make this event possible. The response has been incredible and serves as a reminder of what makes Molalla such a special place to live. Most importantly, this event is a celebration. It is a celebration that Frank is still with us today. It is a celebration of perseverance, community, and hope. We look forward to filling Molalla River Brewing with friends, family, supporters who want to help write the next chapter in Frank's story. I would encourage everyone who is able to join us on Saturday, come enjoy some great music, support a great cause, and help us show Frank just how much this community cares. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kaiser, for your comments.
Thank you, sir.
Just a time.
The chair is returned to the mayor. We will continue with the agenda item number 8, general business.
Actually, we still have public comment that our city recorder will be handling at this point.
Thank you, Mayor Kaiser. So Mayor and Council, staff is in receipt of a letter addressed to you all by resident Jimmy Thompson. Mr. Thompson and I shared further correspondence, and he requested that I provide that to you all. There is a packet at each of your seats that contains our exchange along with the public records request that was submitted. While City Council does not generally engage with public comment, this was first directed to the City Manager. City Manager Huff has information to share with you regarding this public comment, which is also included in your packet. At the end of his presentation, Council is welcome to ask questions if they choose. Mr. Huff.
You ready? So there's a couple of things that the city recorder placed at your desks there. One of them is a excerpt from the methodology that was produced by Steve Donovan for the City of Molalla that you were presented in March. And I think has the page of the report that looks like this. Okay, and then on the back side of that, there's a highlighted sentence in there. And if you recall, in February, Assistant City Manager and I gave you all, mostly Mac, but gave you a education, if you will, on SDCs, because we knew we were coming to do some SDC work. There's a few of you that haven't been on the City Council for very long, and so it was kind of a re-education for some of you and some new education for others. As part of that SDC education, I gave you a quick update of the park SDC, a little bit of the history of kind of how we got where we are with the SDC. And in this report that you received by our SDC consultant, who provided you with the methodology for the new park SDC that reflects the CPI that's listed in the park, the new park master plan. There's a highlighted section there. I just want to read it out loud real quick. This adjustment, and that's referring to the adjustment that occurred in 2019 to go from $7,752, which was the park SDC at that time, to adjust that down to $2,500. That's what the resolution in 2019 did. This adjustment was not informed by a facilities plan update or a cost of service analysis, but rather reflected a policy decision by the city's governing body. And the reason why I wanted to read that to you is because if you refer to the information that has been requested of us, cities are required to have methodology that justifies the SDC that you have, and you all know that. Most cities hire a consultant. If they're a city like ours, we hire a consultant to go through a justification process, and they produce a report which you adopt and then set your new fee based on that methodology. You need that justification in order to set that SDC rate at the level that's suggested by the consultants based on how it compares to your capital improvement plan. But you don't need a report to set a fee that's lower than what the max is that they're suggesting. Does that make sense? And that's what the City Council did in 2019. Because of the totality of the situation with all of our SDCs combined, and the fact that the City Council was interested in preserving our ability to fund the wastewater treatment plant, in order to keep that wastewater SDC as high as you could get it, the city lowered the park SDC fee. So that was the first thing I wanted to clarify. And we've talked to you all about that at the council level on more than one occasion. The second item that is at your desk is something that's titled Park SDC Review. And I won't go through all of this because I've kind of talked through some of this before and even today. But if you look at, since 2019, there's a list of 6 projects that we've completed or are in the process of completing since 2019 after that SDC was lowered. One of them was Strawberry Park. Another was Chief Yelkus Park. Fox Playground replacements, both the Tot Park and the larger facility. Long Park pickleball courts, and there's people out there using them tonight. I saw when I came in, just a thought. Ivor Davies improvements, those are ongoing, but we started doing those back about 3 or 4 years ago. And Cemetery Park improvements. And we also, as you know, have on the docket the playground at Clark Park that we've begun working on, as well as the athletic fields at Clark Park. And the other caveat to this is that we do not have a large park maintenance crew. You're all aware of that. We don't have, we scratch out funding for our parks maintenance out of our general fund. And we've told you a long time ago that, look, we don't have a lot of park maintenance room to spare. We really can't afford to buy large maintenance parks or produce large maintenance parks. We need to keep, so we've been improving the parks we already have. with the exception of Strawberry, which is kind of a low-maintenance park for us, as well as Chief Yelkus, which was designed as a low-maintenance park. So I just wanted to, we're well aware, I think, at a council level and a staff level of what was going on, why it was going on, and I just wanted to reiterate that you don't need a study to reduce a fee. You need the study to set the fee or increase it. It's actually state law, so. Anyway, that was what I had to say about the request that we have. If you have questions, I'm happy to answer.
You went over your 3 minutes. I'm just kidding.
Hey, the light didn't go off.
I actually have some questions. When the SDC fee, first off, where did the money go when the SDC fees got lowered? That difference, where did that money, that I think I heard 1.9 million, where did that money go?
Well, the 1.9 million would have been, is referring to the amount of money that we would have raised had we kept the fee at the same rate as it was. That's all that number is. It's a fictitious number of money that we didn't, but the difference of that went into the wastewater treatment plant SDC.
No developers.
No. No, they paid, everybody paid full rate, just the park SDC was lowered a little bit.
It was lowered and the money was transferred into another project within the city.
Yeah.
And wasn't that change made shortly after, the change in this SDC fees was made, the change was made shortly after, at the time Mayor Thompson resigned, correct?
Yes, right about that time frame, yeah.
So 2018, 2019?
2019 is when the city council made the final decision to do that, which would have been,
And I believe he resigned in February or March of 2019.
So coming to us with this issue 7 years later, I mean, it seems redundant, and that the allegation of money went to developers when it went into a project that was desperately needed by the city. It seems like that's,
yeah.
go ahead.
There wasn't an actual transfer of funds.
No, it wasn't
No.
an actual transfer of funds. You have transportation SDC, I mean, I understand what the mayor's getting
Right,
at
but I
here, but
wanted to,
you
Yeah.
have transportation SDCs, you have water SDCs, you have wastewater SDCs, storm drainage, and parks. And the city council was looking at the SDCs as kind of a package deal, in that, like, when you see what other cities are charging for all of their SDCs, okay, you see those comparisons that we give you. They don't really mean anything because everybody's really different, but you kind of don't want to be the highest, don't want to be the lowest, kind of want to be wherever that council tends to want to be. And so that overall package of SDC is what we were talking about in 2019, which was, if we want to keep the wastewater SDC as high as we can get it, okay, but we don't want to go over that combined SDC total. We're going to have to reduce somewhere else.
Yep.
And they decided to reduce in parks.
right. So the pie was just split up
It was,
differently.
yeah,
There
so
was no
the money that
transferred or
the mayor's
anything.
talking about is part of that overall pie.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Well, and further on that subject, I do wonder how long or how much responsibility we have to answer questions about things that at the latest date in this request is 6 years ago. Nothing is gonna be changed from what was done back then. And we're spending untold hours, and we're required to regardless of the seeming, I can't come up with a good word for it that I should use, so, we're required to go ahead and answer all these requests?
Well, What I think we have state law for public records requests that the city recorder follows. She's got a book. And she reads it at night. And,
Thank you.
So yes, the answer would be yes. We are required to at least provide an answer to that question. It may be that we don't have those records anymore. I'm not talking about this request. I'm talking about
Right.
we may not have those records anymore. We, and we don't have to create records that somebody's asking about. And the other thing is, we can charge for some, if we have to do some research on some of these that we've gotten recently, we are allowed to charge for
Okay.
staff time.
Well, that's good.
And
Christie, go ahead.
because she had something to say and I cut her off, didn't I?
Just a little.
In 2023, council passed a resolution that, as City Manager Huff was saying, approves a leveled process for public records. If for any individual that is asking for a public records request of this nature, it is my duty to respond to them in how much staff time is involved. The requester gets to make the decision whether to proceed with the request or not. This individual has been informed that this is considered a level 2 request, so staff time would be absorbed and accrued and charged. Does that answer your question,
Thank you.
Counselor? You're welcome.
It's sufficient, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we don't, if it's one of those requests that is a level 2 request, where we expect payment for that work to be done, we request a deposit, and we don't start the work until we receive that deposit.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Council, I would say at this juncture that if you would like to continue the discussion related to parks SDCs specifically, then it is something, because this wasn't a council item this evening, then we would need to place that as an item on the agenda. Otherwise, I'll leave that to your discretion, whether you want to continue the conversation or not.
And that statement is only based on if you have a need to continue talking about it, or if you think you're sufficiently informed, maybe you don't.
Does anybody have any questions or comments?
No.
I think we've pandered enough time on this.
Okay.
Moving on. General business. Banner pole tops. Councilor Childress, we'll take your staff report, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, as you know, about 3 years at least ago, we started trying to get funding to do an across-the-street banner system in our town. And it took a while, but we did come up with a system eventually. Local artist Ben Dye created a self-hoisting system so that these banners, so that 2 people can go out there and just rig things up and pull the banner up. It's not a big deal to get it up there. And we got an approval of a grant, and we will be proceeding with doing those banner, or that system. It's going to be installed somewhere around the.
It's right in front of the fire station entrance.
It's right in front of the
I was
entrance.
just wondering if Justin was still paying attention, and he
Well,
is.
that's what I was being careful about there. It's kind of in front of
It's-
Hope Animal Hospital coming across and
I thought it was further to the north.
further to the north. Well,
Um,
there's been, okay, I don't know, because I didn't get the picture of it.
Either
that
way,
I
it won't
asked
be in
for.
the way of the fire station.
It won't be in the way of the fire
And,
station.
And it will be high enough so the fire trucks
Oh, yeah.
can go through
Can
it.
get
yeah.
under it, yes.
Yeah, it's-
And it
And
was,
there's some engineering work that still has to be done yet
right.
on some
They
of it.
selected to do it in that area because that's really the busiest traffic without going to Highway to the highway, and we don't want it, we're not gonna put it out there, we want it on our own streets. So one of the features of the hoist system is artistic embellishment that can be done on the system. What you're seeing on your screen here is actually the top of one of the posts, and there are 2 posts on each side, needless to say. The B&C committee did a survey. It was a very small survey, a short window. 2 items rose to the top. And one was a bucking horse, and the other was the Molalla River, out of about 5 items that we listed. And so we sent those 2 top items, the bucking horse and the Molalla River, to our artist to see what he might come up with in the way of something to show. When it came back to the committee overwhelmingly went to the river. The bucking horse was going to be in rusted metal again, and we have a lot of rusted metal art around town, so the committee overwhelmingly went with this. And I don't know if you can see for sure on the color, but these are silver fish, and I'm going to show you one here in a minute. And then the blue waves are going to represent the river. And the last conversation I had with him, there will be 3 to 5 fish going up the river, so to speak, like our fish normally would. And he made a sample for me.
Oh, wow.
So,
Fish on.
fish on. Exactly. So this
Oh, that's cool.
is what you'll see. Yeah, this is about a 15-pound springer.
That's a fish tail.
It's upside down, but that's fine.
And I want you to know, yes, it is. I see what you were saying in that. The fins are all in the appropriate location. We did a little bit of research because we have a few fishermen in this area. And I don't think they could tell from some 20 feet up top, but the fins are all appropriately located, and we did not take into consideration getting a fin clipped at the hatchery, for those of you who may ask that question.
It's native.
So this is what I'm here to present tonight. This is the B&C Committee's recommendation, if you will, for the artistic embellishment on the banner pole system.
Perfect.
Okay? And we just need your concurrence on that. And then as the installation happens, then the art will happen, and we'll have big dedication one day.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, any questions?
They look great. That's exciting.
Thank you. I thought it was really cool.
Time frame?
I don't have a time frame because there's still the engineering.
Yeah, we still have some engineering, but we have started the work with the artist building it, and so we've had some progress payments to the artist. It won't be done probably until later in the summer.
Oh, we're looking this year. Excellent.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
next fiscal year, but yeah, it's moving along.
Okay.
So do you need a motion? You want a motion
I
from
do
the
need
council? Okay.
Is there a motion to approve the design presented by our Beautification and Culture CPC Chair?
I move to approve the design presented by our Beautification and Culture CPC Chair.
A second?
It's been moved in second. Is there any other questions or discussion? Christie, will you call the vote?
Certainly. Counselor Gilmer.
Aye.
Counselor Childress.
Aye.
Council President Vermillion.
Aye.
Counselor Bartholomew.
Aye.
Counselor Bysenius.
Aye.
Mayor Kaiser.
Aye.
Thank you. Vote passes 6-0.
All right, up next will be MMC Chapter 5.24, General Business Licensing Potential Code Update. And I will take this as this is back to you, Mr. Huff.
It is.
Mr. Corthel's not here tonight.
Mr. Corthell is not here tonight, so I am going to present this one to you all. And I'll start off with, it's probably a discussion item that you all are gonna wanna think about a little bit. I'll give you some, I guess for lack of a better description, some thinking points. But we're not looking for an actual decision tonight. This is really kind of a presentation to you on the business license alterations that we think that Mac and his staff have been looking at and working on. And with that, if you go to page 21, the original business license ordinance was created in 1999. We've amended it 7 times since then. Okay, so and they're just spot amendments, you know. So what happens over time is you get some things that are left in there that maybe shouldn't be, and some other things that, you know, you get some conflicts. For example, in the memo that Mr. Corthell provided you, the word peddler. You used to have peddler's licenses. Well, we still have the word peddler in the business license, but we don't, and it's in the definitions and it's in the statements in the license, but we don't have that anymore. It was a big deal years ago, and it's sure not today. And there's ambiguity in some places, and so they wanted to clean all that up, not only for us at a staff level, so when you administer a code, you want it to make sense to the folks that are administering it. And it really also should make a lot of sense to the people who are regulated by it. You know, business owners should be able to read the code and understand what it is. And so what Mac and his staff did was they used the LOC model code as a framework, but added a number of things back into that framework that were kind of Molalla items that we thought were important in the existing code. And what they're looking for from you all is a couple of things that to consider as you read through this, and we'll put it back on the agenda for you all to kind of, because I'm guessing that certain individuals that are on our city council, Leota, will look at things in immense detail, and that's what we want you to do, and bring back those questions and concerns that you do have. But specifically, we want people to pay at the end, like if you submit a business registration or business license, and we don't want you to pay until the license is approved. And the reason for that is there's a number of things that happen in between the application and the approval of that. It's better if we have them pay at the end. We think it's better at the staff level, and we think it's better for them, because if you pay first and then you go through a process and we can't approve it, then we have to issue a refund. You know, for whatever reason, most of them are approved. The other comments is on renewals. We need to clean up the renewal section of this code. It's confusing. It's confusing to us. And if it's just a little bit confusing to staff, it's really confusing to the folks who have businesses. And so we need to clean that up a little bit. We need to have provisions for that. And you won't find great ones in the stuff that we sent you, but they are working on that. Okay? And then the last one that we really need you to kind of contemplate is a term that we use today really that is a hobbyist, okay? Back in the day when the term home occupation came up, okay? You know, because I've been here for 50 years, right, doing this, according to Mac.
60.
Used to be people wanted to have a home business. It was something they did on the side. You know, maybe they dabbled in it. Maybe they made a little bit of money, maybe they didn't, but they did it out of their home, right? And today, there are people that the term is a hobbyist, and it's somebody who does that same thing, but it's not really truly a business. They go to work in the morning maybe, and they do it on the side, and our code right now says anybody who makes more than $2,500 annually, okay? Doesn't take much to earn that much money, that amount today. So Mac's staff and his suggestion is that we raise that number to 5,000 to 10,000, depending on where you all want to land with that. And we want to work with them on a good faith level. Like, you tell us you're only making, $3,500, okay, fine. To actually do the work to find out how much they're actually how much money they're actually making each year, we turn into a mini IRS system, and we don't really want to do that. We don't have the time to do that. We're not set up to do those kinds of things, and so we really just need to believe people in what they tell us, unless something happens, at the location they're at. And even somebody, if they go rent a storefront downtown and they're running their business out of a storefront, it's probably not a hobby business. So if somebody tells us, no, I only make $3,000 a year, well, they're probably not being truthful. So in that kind of a situation, you kind of figure it out. But somebody who truly is a hobbyist, we want to just believe them. So with those three things, reading through the code that we've provided, that's kind of the framework that we want you to read through it, if you will, for your homework. And then when we come back, and you can provide those comments between now and whenever we come back, and Mac and his people will plug that in and it'll come back to you.
Question. So what we have here is this is the current set of rules?
No, this is the proposal.
This is the proposal?
Proposal, okay.
Would it be possible to get
Do you want the old one?
yeah,
Okay.
that way we can compare. I'm sure Councilor Childress would like to compare apples to apples here.
Yeah, she might.
I'm happy to forward that to you. It is also, just so the public is aware, it's also available on our website. If you go search the code and type in business licensing, the code is, it's the old code.
Okay.
So you can access it there as well.
And when you compare it, you'll see some of those things I just talked about.
Sure.
So, being that a lot of this is based on the LFC code model, would it be possible to have the sections that are related to our old model highlighted, referenced? Is there any easy way for them to do that
Well,
that wouldn't require a big undertaking?
I can't answer you specifically, but based on what Mac and I talked about, they set the proposed code up under the same basic format. So you'll find the same sections. They may have moved a few things around, but we'll see about that. We'll try to create that for you.
Yeah, I mean,
I understand what you're getting at, and we'll talk about it and see if we can get that to you as well.
that'd be helpful. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Okey-doke. Up next will be staff communications, and we will start off with Christie.
Mayor and Council, there is a City of Tualatin CCA dinner taking place on Thursday, June 25th at the Grand Hotel. I need to know, right now, if you would like to attend. I know that Councilor Schenkel told me that she could not, but if going once, going twice, I don't see anyone jumping at. I need to let their city recorder know tomorrow whether to expect anyone from City of Molalla.
And just so you all know, part of the City of Tualatin is in Clackamas County. That change didn't matter. Okay.
They're a two-county city.
They are.
Tualatin folk. Yeah, all right. And thank you all for that. Secondly, just a reminder to everybody that the election season is open. And then third, Finance Director Sharon and myself We are each hiring for an office specialist 5 right now. Hers would specifically be an accounting specialist. Ms. City Manager Huff and I are looking for an administrative specialist. And we have got, I'm happy to report, as always, we have some really wonderful candidates. Ms. Cindy has narrowed hers down, I believe, and interviews are set for next week. So she's asked me to sit in on those with her, so I'll be helping her out. And of course, you know, if there's anybody really good, then I'll be trying to swipe them for myself. I mean, and she's already been warned that that's how that might go. But that is the update as far as hiring goes within the admin team. I know there's hiring elsewhere within the city. And then, of course, I think a few of you had to listen to me share about construction going on at City Hall this week. We've been under construction for a couple of months now, and then we had our mishap with our water pipe last week. So we are moving and shaking at literally moving and shaking at City Hall right now. Typing today and my keyboard was vibrating off of my desk. That's all.
All right, thank you. City Manager Huff.
Right. I don't really have anything interesting other than it's been interesting at City Hall. So, and you know, the other thing is, some people who work at City Hall don't get as excited about finding old weird things in old buildings like I do, but and I try to tell them, and they're not interested, and so I have to talk to Max people about it, and they tend to, but it's an old building, and there's weird stuff in there that you find, and we had a 4-inch water line serving the City Hall, because it used to be a fire station, you know, years and years and years ago. It started out as a fire station. Did you not know that?
No.
Down where the finance department is, that's where the bays for the fire engines were.
Okay.
In the bays there, and if you kind of look at it right, you can see that. And then the offices, and then where they slept and stuff overnight was the rest of City Hall. And then it was the library, you know, and then it became City Hall, and then we added the police station on the back end. And so anyway, there's a 4-inch line that provides the water supply to the building, and it goes back about halfway, and then it goes through, I don't know what it was. It goes to the back, goes all the way to the back of the building where there used to be a fire hydrant back there. I think it must have been where they filled up the tanks on the fire trucks. We don't need a 4-inch line to that building, by any sense of the word. And that's what broke on the outside, but on the inside, it was the 4-inch line that came into the building and then broke inside the building, and so the flooding was really all on the inside. And there's a lot of water coming out. So it's like anyway.
So
It flooded the finance director's office. Hypothetically speaking, there may have been puddle stumping going on in her office.
So the proverbial fire, drinking from a fire hose happened.
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Yes. Yeah. So, but we're all back in there,
Bad joke.
Well,
and
water's turned back on.
so we had to move
That's
some
a better
people
way to
around
say
because they
it.
couldn't be in their offices,
Yeah.
but we're back working. So anyway.
Excellent. Anything else?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm good.
Councilor Bassinis.
Don't have a lot. Really looking forward to hearing about your event this weekend. Wonderful cause. Wish you all the success. I hope there are a fantastic turnout. I unfortunately have plans. I won't be able to be there, but best of luck to you guys.
Thank you.
That's all I have, sir.
I have something, Mayor. Just have a public announcement. So we got so many wonderful things happening here in the city of Molalla. We got On August 1st, Saturday, August 1st, we have the first annual Cars and Coffee event sponsored by Weimar and Dad's and Auto Body. So the event is going to be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And remember, it's the first annual Cars and Coffee event. So if you go to this event, you can have bragging rights years later saying that I went to the first event. So I just want to remind everybody of that. And that's all I have, Mayor Kaiser.
All right, thank you. Counselor Gilman?
I have nothing to report other than nice looking fish.
Thank you.
Counselor Childress?
Thank you. Well, first I want to thank the council for accepting our proposal from the B&C committee. And I want to recognize the other members of the committee. They could not be with us tonight, but serving on the committee are Roxy Smith, Pamela Luke, Connie Sharp, Counselor Schenkel, and myself. And we put a lot of love into this fish. A lot of love hidden in there, I'll tell you. And speaking of events coming up, the Buckaroo Rodeo is coming up. And I've seen something on Facebook that I just wanted to mention to all of our millions of viewers out there. That always gets a chuckle. Buy your rodeo tickets from the Molalla Buckaroo site. Do not buy them from a third-party vendor or you will pay about twice the price. Make sure you're on the Molalla Buckaroo site to buy your rodeo tickets. They are selling, and we had a few sold out nights last year, so but just make sure you know where you're buying them and don't pay extra. That's it.
All right, thank you.
this evening.
Council President Vermillion?
Yeah, thank you. Just a reminder, yesterday was the last day of school, so kids are out. They're wandering around in our neighborhoods. They're jetting around on their scooters and electric bikes, so be careful. Coming on over here, there was a little kid on an electric scooter jumping out in front of me. So be on the lookout for these kids. They're all over the place. But anyway, last weekend, I attended the C4 conference. It's always great to get back together again with these people and rekindle those relationships. There was one individual that I bumped into. He works for Clackamas County in the transportation division, who I used to officiate high school football with over 20 years ago. So that was fun. Two of the main subjects that or topics that they were going over was business and economic competitiveness. Oregon is currently ranked 39th among the top states for business. As of 26, it dropped 22 places since 2017, 11 places just in the last year alone. Guess what? Oregon currently lacks a statewide economic development plan. Imagine that. So the other piece of it was the transportation funding challenges. Heartburn. That's all I'll say about that. But again, I really enjoyed the relationships and talking with our representatives and other counselors and mayors and seeing how things are happening in other parts of Clackamas County. So, and again, we were represented very well with our mayor and some of the insights that he provided. So Molalla is very well represented and respected at this level. So that's all I got.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I'm going to leave it at that. It's been a great night, and I have nothing else to report. Councilor Vermillion handled our weekend, and without further ado, if there isn't anything else for the good of the order, I will adjourn this meeting at 6:49.